Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Menagerie series. In today's episode, I want to work on making something from the Buildcraft Tools mod. But in order to get started with that, I need to build something from the Buildcraft mod. Now, the Buildcraft Tools mod is an add-on mod for Buildcraft, obviously. It adds some nifty little tools that you can use. Some of them are a little bit ridiculous sometimes, but they are pretty neat. But as I said, I need to start with a particular thing. So I was clearing out some space down here, and that should be okay. And what I need to make from Buildcraft is this assembly table. Now, the assembly table requires 5 diamonds, 4 for the diamond gear and another one in the middle there. And that's bad in and of itself, but in order to power or to work the assembly table, maybe you need these lasers, and they require 2 diamonds apiece. I made 6 of them. You really only need 1, but the more you have, the faster the assembly table will work. And so what I want to see if I can do, if I can put this horizontally on the wall, and I can't, but kind of knew that was going to be the case, but just wanted to see. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the assembly table maybe right here, like so. That should be all right. And let me clear out a little bit more space above it, like that. All right, that's good. I need to get myself a chest, so I'm going to run upstairs and get one real quick. Now, the assembly table is a Buildcraft item that allows you to make certain things within the assembly table. Let me see if I have any chests. I probably do. There's one. There we go. Okay, and it's like I said, it works via the lasers that you will see here in a minute how they work. So the assembly table itself doesn't need power, but the lasers do need power, so I'm going to want to put them in a way that I can have easy access to power. And that also reminds me that I'm going to need some more of my golden kinesis pipes, which I don't actually know if I have any left over. Okay, made myself up some golden kinesis pipes, so I think now we're ready to get going. Should have kept better track of what I needed. Oh, I just tore a hole in the wall. Okay. Alright, so back downstairs. So I have the assembly table there, and I'm going to put this chest next to it. What happens is when the assembly table makes something, it will put it into the chest automatically. Gosh, I really don't know where I want to put it. I guess I'll put it right there. And then the lasers just need to be close enough that they can form a line of sight to the table, and so they can shoot their lasers at it. I'm going to go ahead and opt to put them up here. Let's see. So we'll put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's actually not going to work because I can't get the pipes to them. So let's take these back down like so, and we'll do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do it like that, which is not terribly ideal, but it should work. And now all I need to do is run this golden kinesis pipe over to it. I'm going to have to move that torch. I'm going to stick you over here so it's not too dark. And we'll run the pipe up. Oh, I've got stuff in the way. Alright. I'm going to have to move. These things. Let's move this like so. In fact, if I take it out like that, is that what I want to do? Yeah, I'll clean this up in a bit. You'll actually be able to see how I can clean this up a little bit better in a little bit, but I need to get this started. Okay, so that will power the lasers. You can see the energy flowing through the lasers there. And then I will just run this back to a connection like so, so everything is still hooked up. Okay, so once the lasers have power and the assembly table is within range, you can begin to make certain things. Now, it only makes certain types of things. The first thing I want to show you, which is again still basic Buildcraft and has nothing to do with the Buildcraft tools, which we'll be getting into in a little bit, is a gate. And a gate is made by putting a redstone chipset into the assembly table, and a redstone chipset is made by putting redstone in the assembly table. So if I put a piece of redstone in here, and and then I have to tell it to do it by clicking here, it'll start working, and you see these lasers shoot out, and they pew 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 onto the table, and they are sending out their power. And this is why you only need one laser. It would just be a sixth of the speed. This is, giving a little bit more speed to getting this thing done. And when it generates enough power there, it converts the redstone into a redstone chipset, and as I said, it will automatically place it into this chest. Now if I take the redstone chipset and put it in there, it will work and operate and become this gate. And the colors of the lasers that shoot out there kind of tell you whether or not they are operating at their max efficiency. So red would be lowest, then yellow, then green, and then blue means they are running at, in other words, that the laser is getting the right amount of power to operate at its maximum. That's basically what that means. So wait a minute here for this gate to get created. Okay, it's done, and now we have a gate. Now, the reason why a gate is useful is gates can be attached to regular pipes, and depending on what the pipes are attached to, it allows it to control that device in a certain way. So it's kind of hard to describe like that, but let's just go straight to maybe using an example. I have here a commercial steam engine, and currently I have it not doing anything at all. I have it turned off. I have it activated by this lever. If I turn this lever on, it will start, pumping and creating power, which is represented by this blue line here. And you have to be able to provide it with power, not power, but you provide it with a redstone signal, usually via a redstone torch or a lever, like so, which tells it whether or not it should operate. Now I'm going to get rid of this. So now it doesn't have a way to do that. But what I can do is I can take this gate and I can stick it onto this pipe that's attached to the commercial steam engine, like so. And now if I go into the pipe, it has what I would say are if-then conditions. In other words, if whatever here is true, then do whatever you tell it to do over here. So for example, over here I can say create a redstone signal. So if I give it the right if statement, it will make a redstone signal. And remember, a redstone signal is what this engine needs to start pumping its power. Oops. So now I can go through and look at my little if conditionals. If the pipe is empty, if pipe empty, give it a redstone signal. Well, the pipe is empty when there's no power flowing through it. So as you can see, it gives a redstone signal, it tells it to operate. Then there's power in it, so it stops it. You can see when the redstone is being turned on and off, and that would, you could theoretically do things that way. It's not all terribly efficient. You can say whether or not power is currently traversing through the system. This will pretty much cause it to kind of almost always stay on, because power, while it's working, power is running through there, and so while power is running through there, it tells it to work. We have power overloaded. I'm not exactly sure what that one would do. Power requested, and redstone signal off or redstone signal on, and whether or not the engine is in blue, green, or yellow, orange, or red stages, whether the tank is empty, whether there's fluid in the tank, and for the purposes of the engine, the fluid would be this steam. So here I'm saying if there's any fluid, in other words, any steam in the tank, go ahead and make a redstone signal, which will go ahead and make this operate. So as long as there's steam in here, this machine will operate. So again, you can use this to create different kinds of if-then conditionals. One of the interesting things, one here is, here, redstone signal on, give it a redstone signal. So remember I said if I had let's go ahead and put this piece of dirt right there and put this lever on top of it, like so. So this lever can create a redstone signal, and when it creates a redstone signal over here, then the gate is receiving a redstone signal, and then it will send out a redstone signal. So, might not seem too useful, but you can do it the other way, which is when there is no redstone signal, send a redstone signal, and that would be when there is nothing here to give it a redstone signal, which would make it stay on all the time. So different ways to use gates depending on how you have it hooked up, and there's different other conditions you can give over here on this end as well. But the gate is smart enough to know that the only thing the engine can operate with is either on or off. So the actual one that we're going to use is one that we kind of looked at a little bit, and it's called the one that says power requested. And what that means is that if anywhere along the circuit of kinesis pipes, anywhere in the system, you know, these are hooked up to things that require power, such as this pump, such as the centrifuge, the rolling machine, the lasers, all the stuff that's requesting power, it would know whether or not it's requesting the power, and then it would only provide a redstone signal if it needed the power. You can see now it's not needing any power, so it's turned it off. And that makes things a little more convenient. All these extra blocks that I have that I needed to have in here to put on these levers to activate all of these engines means I can take all those out and replace them with the gate on each one of their output sides. The other thing that I've discovered is I can attach the engine directly to the steam boiler instead of having to run the steam out through these pipes and into them, which means that I can compact this down quite a bit. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do that. I'm going to make some more of these gates. I'm going to need a total of 18, and I've made one. So I'll need to make 17 more of them. I'm going to make these gates, and then I'm going to put them all onto the various the various engines, attach the engines directly to the steam boiler, and this will clean things up in here just a little bit, make it not quite so cramped in here, which is why I said that I'll be able to move some of this stuff around and it'll look a little bit better. But I'll do that real quick and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back and I have reconfigured everything. I moved the commercial steam engines right up against the boilers, so they get the steam right up against the boiler. So they get the steam directly from the boiler, and as you can see, it actually even keeps the steam in the engine at a maximum level. It's actually better that way. I moved the steam oven up a little because I had more space now. And then with these gates on here, as I said, they're only going to operate when they need the power. So you can see like this engine here isn't even running, and these two up there aren't running, and a few of them over here are not running. I've got 6 on each side, which is a total of 18 commercial steam engines. And again, they'll only run when they actually need the power to do so. And depending on what machines I'm using and drawing power, that's what will determine how many of these will be running. The ME system requires power, so there'll always be some running because the ME system has a constant need of power down there. I was even able to clean up down here a little bit. Looks better down here. And of course there's much more room to walk around in here. If I'm actually making anything on my assembly table and the lasers are drawing power, more of these will kick in. And if I'm using my quarry, which I've set up my quarry out there because I was just testing things, plug my quarry in, and that, of course that requires a lot of power. And then you can see those engines up there kicked on, and those engines up there have kicked on. They've all turned on now. The quarries use up a lot of power, so as long as I'm running my quarry, probably all of the engines will be running. But I didn't necessarily need to save on power or steam or anything like that, but the gates are nice just for the fact that it compacts the space. I don't have to use as much space to have a place for a lever and all that other kind of stuff. So that's really good. Okay, Now that I have my assembly table, I can build the items that I need from the Buildcraft Tools mod. And the item that I wanted to build is right here, the Pneumatic Gun. Now, the Pneumatic Gun requires these energized plates, and they are made from energized ingots, which are made by putting gold in the assembly table. That's why I needed to make an assembly table, and I also needed a redstone golden chipset and these enhanced pneumatic motors, and I've got my pneumatic gun. Now, once I have my pneumatic gun, I need to be able to charge it, and that requires this tool charger right here. And the tool charger is something that requires power. I've not used this before, so I'm going to plunk it down right here. And yep, I can see it filling up with power. That is good. And because I am running my quarry, and like I said, the quarry will pretty much suck up as much power as you can possibly make for it. These engines will be running full time, and so my other machinery might be a little bit slow. But once I have this tool charger here, I can put in the pneumatic gun, and it will begin to charge the pneumatic gun. You can see it says stored 16, 17, 18, up until it has its maximum of the 4,000 Minecraft joules of power that the pneumatic gun can store. Now, the reason I wanted to make a pneumatic gun is fairly simple. I want to, how do I want to say this? I was over in the Nether, through my Nether portal there, farming levels with my blaze farm, which is not a complicated blaze farm, it's just a very simple blaze farm that I have. And because I was doing that, I was ending up with a lot of these blaze rods. You can see I have 454 blaze rods. And you can do some things with them, but there's not a whole lot. But one thing you can make is these fiery nails, okay? Now, the fiery nail is made by combining a blaze rod with either a bronze ingot or an iron ingot in a heat press. And that is this tool right here, the heat press. And in addition to that, I need a nail form. The nail form is made by combining a heavy nail with a block of iron. And a heavy nail is made from a rusty nail, 4 pieces of iron, and 4 diamonds. So, a little bit expensive to have to do this. The rusty nail, and this is nice about the Buildcraft Tools, as you can see it says press shift for more info. You press shift, and it tells you there it can only be found in dungeon chests. But in my explorations early on in the series, I did manage to find some rusty nails, and I plunked them over here into this chest right there. So I have a rusty nail, and so the only thing I need to do now is I need to make this heavy nail, which again is 4 diamonds and 4 pieces of iron. Okay, so put in my rusty nail, and I know I'm not supposed to be showing crafting recipes, but this should be fairly simple. So I had all the parts ready to go. I have my heavy nail. Combine that with a block of iron, and it's supposed to give me a nail form. Oh, I got to do it in an assembly table. Aha, see? Sometimes I'm not paying too much attention to what I need to do. So let's run back downstairs and plunk this into our assembly table and see how long it's going to take. Whew. Shunk, there we go. So, heavy nail, block of iron, build it. It's going to take a little bit of time. Here you can see my lasers running at pretty good full power there. They draw the power when they need it. I think with the quarry running and the lasers running, there might not be quite enough power out. You can see some of my lasers are not operating at peak efficiency, and in fact that one over there just plain stopped. So quarry plus lasers is a little too much for my system. Interestingly enough, I could obviously add additional. I have 18 commercial steam engines on here, and I think I can add more. And because I have these gate conditionals on them, they would only run when the power was needed. And it would be a drain on the steam boiler to do that. But if you knew you were going to only be using it occasionally or temporarily like that, you could probably get away with it. But I'm probably not going to do that if I determine that I am in a permanent situation where I need more power, I would probably just go ahead and build another steam boiler. And in fact, I probably wouldn't even do that. My forestry farm generates a ton of saplings, and saplings can be used to make biomass. And I'd probably do something along that route. But for right now, I think I'm okay. But our assembly table is done, and so we have our nail form. And again, I have the heat press. So let's take our heat press, and for right now, we'll plunk it there so that it receives power, which it's doing. And we'll put in a nail form. And now what I need is some blaze rods and some iron ingots. I can actually use bronze or iron ingots to make these fiery nails with. And I have a ton of iron in my system as it is. I've got 513 ore. But I'm actually going to use bronze. And the reason for that is bronze is, of course, made by combining tin and copper. I have quite a bit of tin, and I have quite a bit of copper. And I don't use those for anything other than... I don't use those for anything. Whereas iron, obviously, I can use to make all kinds of things. I could make tools out of bronze, but I don't do that anymore. I'm making my tools out of steel or the Damascus steel. And so I'm going to go ahead and make these fiery nails out of bronze, because I might as well have some reason to use up that tin and copper. So to that end, I am crushing up some tin, and when I get that all combined up, I'll be back. Okay, I've got some bronze, and I've got some blaze rods, so we'll put that in there, and oh, it started making metal nails. I wasn't expecting that. So let's do it this way. Oops, get in there. Okay, there we go. It doesn't have quite enough power. Let's see, how about if I... Okay, let me take this out. It's having a little kind of issues with this clicking around, but let's take that out. Let's take you and put you up here. And let's disconnect the quarry. Remember, that power goes out to the quarry. So that should give me a lot more power and a lot faster. So again, we'll put in my nail form and bronze ingots and a blaze rod, and that's much faster. And I get fiery nails. And I get 9 fiery nails for each blaze rod bronze ingot combo. So I'm going to get quite a bit of stuff here. I'll take those out. And there we go. So I made myself quite a few of them. And again, the interface between this is not, seems to be a little bit problematic, but I guess we're okay there. So we'll plug the quarry back in for now. And I believe that there are power pipes that I can make that I can turn on and off with the flick of a switch. So I will have to research that. I'm going to go up here, and I want to get rid of these metal nails, because the only ones I want to use are, I'll get rid of some of this other junk in here, these fiery nails. And so let's get back down here on the tool charger. Our pneumatic gun should be fully charged, and it is. So let's take it out, and let's see if we can figure out how to make it shoot these fiery nails. So let's see, press shift. Can shoot different types of items, most of them created in the milling machine. Huh, I wonder if I have the wrong tool. I don't know. I'll be right back. Okay, I just needed to know how to use it. Apparently, I did not know, but shift right clicking opens up this, and I think I can take the fiery nails and put them in there, maybe like so. There we go. And now theoretically my pneumatic gun would be loaded up with the fiery nails. Let's go out here and, ooh, creeper. Gosh dang it. Stupid creeper. Well, so much for my animal pen. The creeper just blew a nice big hole in it. I get this happens every once in a while with when I come out of there, the creepers take me by surprise. So I'm going to end up losing all of my animals. Well, that sucks. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. Let's go and see if we can find something that we can shoot this pneumatic gun at. There is a ravine over in this area, so maybe if I go down there into some of the dungeons, we can find something. So let me get my safe landing spell out. There we go. And go over here. Now, oh, shoot, silver skeleton. Let's see. Oh, pow, pow, pow. Hey, that's not too bad. That does 6 points. Oh, pow, 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 pow. That's not too bad. It does 6 points of damage. There's another skeleton. Let's see. Bam. Pow. So it does some damage and it sets them on fire. Obviously, you have the metal nails, which do damage. Percussive nails, which do explosions when they hit. The fire nails set them on fire. The heavy nails, huge amounts of damage. The rusty nails do a poisoning. And the ender nails only hits endermen but damages them severely. So there you go. And then you can also see that I use up some of the stored charge in the pneumatic gun whenever I fire it, which, you know, makes a lot of sense that it would work that way. So let's go over to this side. Just find a few more things that we could shoot at because it's kind of fun and satisfying to have a new way to do things. So unfortunately, I've lit up a lot of this area because I've been exploring, but maybe I can find something down here. I think there's there's an ostrich and an armadillo. Looks like they might have gotten stuck in this area. There's a zombie spawner I found a while back. Let's go down in here. Oh, here's a zombie. Oh, fell down. That's okay. There's a spider. Oh, spider. Bam. Bam. So this is pretty good. It's a fast gun. What it should mean is it shoots fast. It shoots straight, which is nice. Armor does have an effect on, or it does. Armor reduces the amount of damage that it can do. There's a Hecate. Ooh, I killed the bat. Let's get this Hecate. Got him. Ooh, I hear another spider, but I don't know where he's at. So yeah, there we go. The pneumatic gun from, spider and an enderman. The pneumatic gun from, oh, I must have looked at him by accident. Don't come after me, enderman. Alright, I've got some more silver skeleton here. Bam, bam. So yet another weapon that I have that I can use. And again, the nice thing about this is I can make these fiery nails fairly cheaply, really, realistically speaking. Bronze ingots, which again I have an excessive amount of tin and copper and nothing else to really do with them. And these blaze rods, which I'm getting a ton of by farming for experience levels at my blaze farm anyway. And again, not much else I can do with them. So I can use this as yet another tool. Another weapon, as I said, in my arsenal against the evil bad guys. Ooh, I caught the enderman again. I love the fact that I shot these bats. Oh, come here. Oh, I don't have anything against bats, so I don't really want to shoot them. But any more skeletons or zombies or something? Anywhere around here? What's down here? Bam. Oh, Hecates. Bam, 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 bam. Probably wasted a bunch of nails there, but that's okay. So anyway, the pneumatic gun from the Buildcraft Tools mod. Pretty cool. A lot of different options. I could probably make regular nails and all kinds of stuff that I could load in there. And let's see what have I got. I've got 6 nails left, so pretty easy to go through them fairly quickly. But again, I've got the materials to make nails with, so making the pneumatic gun itself took a little bit of work, but once that's over and done with, we now have a neat little weapon. And speaking of the Buildcraft Tools mod, I'm not sure how many more other items in here I would want to make from this mod. The armor that they have is very interesting. They have a whole bunch of different little things that you can get. The only other thing I might get, or I might make, would be this spawner wrench. And what it does is, as it says here, absorbs a mob spawner and releases it again. So I can take a mob spawner from wherever it might be and move it to some other place. For example, I may take my blaze mob spawner from the Nether and move it to my base. Just for convenience, so I don't have to keep going back and forth to the Nether in order to gain some levels. So I may build that. I'm not entirely sure. To be honest with you, I think that any mechanic that allows you to move a mob spawner is kind of overpowered and a little bit cheaty. But I understand the desire for it, and I understand sometimes the need for it, especially different circumstances. And as a good example would be the Ars Magica mod. The Dark Nexus in the Ars Magica mod requires that monsters be killed on the Dark Nexus or in the Dark Nexus. And oop, I'm out of nails. So, there we go. What was I saying? Ars Magica requires that you kill monsters on the Dark Nexus, and there may be various different ways that you could do that, but clearly the easiest thing to do is going to be to have a mob spawner right there. And so there's a situation where, you know, you may want to have a mob spawner within close proximity to wherever you are, and so that's a situation where having the ability to move a mob spawner becomes very useful. Knowing that and understanding that isn't the same as the fact that I still feel that moving mob spawners are a little bit cheaty, but or not cheat, well, not cheaty per se, just a little bit overpowered. When you can move a mob spawner, you know, like in that situation, it reduces the complexity of having to, you know, find some way to get the monsters or whatever you're doing over to the Dark Nexus, when all you have to do is just move a mob spawner over to it and then have them just drop directly on there. But you know, again, just a personal thing on my part. It's not a huge deal, and again, I think it's a little cheaty, but that's probably not going to stop me from using it if I can in some way or form. So try this again. Oh, come on. Come on, let me jump all the way up there. That's not that high. Let's try it again. There we go. So, that's the Buildcraft Tools mod, and that's the Pneumatic Gun and the Fiery Nails. That was our project for today, which we've done. And so that's going to be the end of the episode. The next episode, we're going to start looking at finding ways to kill a wither, because we're going to need a nether star to build the next set of tools that we need. And so that is going to involve killing a wither, and that won't be easy. But we will see what we can do with our, we're decked out in battle mage armor, and so hopefully we'll be able to take on the wither no problem. But before we can do that, we'll have to get some wither skeleton skulls, and that will take us some time as well. But we'll work on that next episode. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.